Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Anisa Anggraini with student ID A1B221107. Here, I'm going to explain about my research proposal with the title Students' Perspective in Reading Textbook for Understanding Material. First is research problem. The use of textbook is indeed very helpful in the learning process. But textbooks are not only the factor that can affect the success of teaching and learning activities. On the other hand, teachers must also know how to properly use this very useful media. Usually, students are asked to read and understand it by themselves without more explanation from teacher. No one can guarantee whether they understand or not, but some teachers do not really care about it. Especially for university students, most of the phenomena that occur are that lectures only provide several textbooks as learning references without helping by providing further explanation of the discussion in the book. Meanwhile, lecturers expect students to understand the entire contents of the book. This usually happens side by side with giving group presentation assignments. Next is research questions. First is, how do students perceive when using textbooks to understand the material? And then the second is, can students understand the material only by reading textbooks? Next is purposes. The aim of the research is to find out how students view the use of textbooks in learning activities and whether just reading textbook can help students understand the learning material. In this research, I will also discuss the appropriate way for teachers to use textbooks as a teaching medium and not always rely on textbooks. The significance of this research is, for teachers, they will know the right way and being wise in using textbooks in learning. This research will also be useful for understanding the views of students as people involved in this phenomenon. The concept of this research will focus on one case that will be discussed in detail and in depth. The kind of study of this research is qualitative study. The data will be explained in words. And then the participants in this research were English Education Study Program students in class R001. Last is the data will be collected using open-ended questions or interview. Review study. The first is Students' Reading Comprehension in Reading English Textbook by Jusman A. Samal and Friends, 2022. It is stated that it was found that students involved in reading comprehension English textbook were categorized as poor with the average of 24.63. The highest score of students' reading comprehension was poor, it is 53, and the lowest score was also poor, it's 7. Reading comprehension textbook is not totally suited to all students in reading comprehension subject. However, if the teacher's ways of teaching is suitable to the students is necessary. And then the last is College Students Textbook Reading or Not by Kylie Bayer and Friends 2011. It states that if the purpose of reading is it to be the core focus of the class or is necessary for students' understanding, the instructor must convey the importance of the readings to the students. The instructor may do this by having a discussion with the class about the overall role the reading will play in the class. That's all from me. Thank you for listening, and I'm really open for the comments, suggestions, and critics. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.